7. I film a little bit of it during the daytime here. So what do we got going over here is I'm running animated lighting, 8 controllers. I got 7 here, and I got 1 down here. These are my pinwheels that I've got in front of my garage door. The garage door is open right now, you can tell. There's the FM transmitter, the Monster Brain, the receiver. And there's all my plug-in circuits. I got 7 dedicated circuits put in here, so everything plugs in right here. I can run all my cords over here, plug them in the way they need to be done. I don't have to worry about, taking my box. I don't have to worry about them getting ripped off or anything. Just got to buy a lot of extension cords. Well, let's head on out and see what we got out here. I just got this thing up and running the other day. So there's the pinwheels. There are 16 on each side, and I've got them tied together so they go opposite of each other. So then one additional 16 control box. I got these 2 palm trees here, or 3 palm trees here, excuse me, with white and red, and they're all linked together. The whites come on at the same time, the reds come on at the same time. Over there, then up here on the roof, I've got white and red LEDs along the whole roof line, and then I've got my gable fan that's got blue and yellow on it. There's 4 channels on each side. There's blue on both sides and yellow on both sides. So I have whenever the blue kicks on one side, the yellow will mirror the other side, and vice versa. So that way it always looks like it's sweeping, and I was able to get away with using 8 channels on that. And then I got these, I don't know really what they're called, up here on the roof line. They're just, they're hooked up to 8 channels, and they're tied together. So whenever the one on the far end goes, the other one will go. So that's why you can sweep it up and down. That's new this year. It kind of adds a new effect to the roof. And I've got the Bethany Star I've had now for a while. Works good. I've got this thing here in the middle. It's got 4 squares, and they're white and red on there. So there's 4 channels on that, and it goes around. It looks pretty nice. Then I get my 4 palm trees over here with white and red on it, and they're all hooked up individually, each tree. I got the 4 reefs. These are 4-footers, 48-inch reefs with white and red and green on them, but this year I've just got the white and red hooked up. And they're hooked in, so I got 2 channels here, 2, so 8 channels here. And they sweep back and forth, up and down. They look pretty good. Here are my arches this year. I've got 7 of them. I put them all in the front this time, and I have them overlapping. I hooked it up. It took me a while to hook these up. It was a real pain getting them to work right, but it looks. I think it turned out pretty nice. There's all the cords. So these are arches with fans. The arches are white, the fans are multicolor, and when so right now it goes up to channel 4. There's 8 channels on each arch. When it hits channel 5, this down here on the lower one, channel 1 will hit. So 5 and 1 will hit, and then 6 and 2 will hit, and so on. And that way it looks pretty cool, sweeping back and forth. This probably took the most time trying to get those all hooked up right. This is my tree. This is the first year I've done this. It turned out okay. It's not great. There's multicolor on the outside, and I did white and green on the inside. There's 16 channels, and then I've got they're tied. I've got them crossed tied, so they look like they're sweeping and circling. And I got green and white on the center. I would have probably done the tree a little differently. And then my new thing this year is the wall, the grid wall. This turned out really cool. There's I made 4 different pieces, and I've got 64 light strands on there. Let me walk over here. So there's 16 channels going up and 16 going down, or 16 strands up and 16 down. Then I tied them together. So so the outside swing goes sweep to the inside, and the top and bottom swings to the middle. It actually looks pretty cool running at night. So I was able to get away with using 16 channels for that whole display by tying the 16 going in with 8 and the 16 going up together and using 8. So this has turned out to be really nice this year. They're just basically 4 trusses that I had built at my truss company. Used screws and then zip tied all these strands and rows here, zip tied them all, got them nice and tight. So basically they just come apart, and you can store these things in 4 different pieces. This was actually easier to build than I thought, and hooking up was easier than I thought. I thought this was going to be a pain, but this one was easy. And here's my arches from the backside with the fans. I just had these left over from something from last year. These are green and white, so I stuck them in the ground here and got them hooked together the way they sweep back and forth. So that's pretty much my display. It's pretty clean this year. I didn't go with a lot of little things. Kind of kept, and I like it this year. It's nice and clean. That's what I like. I got these 3 little palm trees here and here. I've got lights on them, but I didn't hook them up. I didn't turn them on. So one thing, I'm out of channels, and I just thought it would eat up a little bit maybe. So here's all my extension cords. Here's my river of orange and green extension cords. Going over to here, going over to here. I like hooking it up in the garage into one section. I don't like having the controllers out here, even though I have a sheriff lives right next door to me with his car sitting right next to my display. I think the tree right there goes to the top is around 14 feet. There's one of my rock speakers. I got another one over here by the base of this tree, and then I've got it set up with the FM transmitter up on the roof. I think I'm right around 50,000 lights when I went through and figured it all out. 128 channels. I'm using every single one of them. And that is my display for 2011. In the garage here. So every night we have to move the cars to the neighbor's driveway. Luckily I got great neighbors, so we move all the cars over to the neighbor's driveway at night. And I can't use my garage either, which so for the month of December there's no parking in the garage and no parking in the driveway in the evening. But it's not that bad. It's fun for the neighborhood, everybody that comes over.